What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to this episode. Today we're wandering through this little meadow here to get some wild bergamot. I think that's how you say it. I just call it bee balm because it's easier to say. But I noticed I'm doing some landscaping work for this guy. And don't worry, I know him pretty good. He wouldn't care if I went running through his field. But this is all bee balm, all the purple. And if you listen, you probably can't hear it, but I can. It's like humming because there's so many bees on it. So lots of bee balm. I think those are black-eyed Susan. It's everywhere. So if you don't know what bee balm is, it's pretty much grows all over the place. It looks like this. Very pretty plant. It was the purple one. It has a very strong smell. Kind of smells like oregano or some kind of herb. And I'm not suggesting that anybody go eat it, but what I do with it is I eat it. I dry it and I make tea with it when it's during the winter. And if you have a cold, it's really good. And if you have a sore throat, I found if you make tea with it, it works awesome. So I just cut it off. Really all you need is the leaves and the head of the flower. And I go home, I throw it in the dehydrator for, I really don't remember how long. Doesn't take that long to dry them out, a few hours maybe. And then I put them in a jar, put them on the shelf till winter, and then I have it if I have a cold. So it's pretty cool. Right there. So it smells really strong. The stem is kind of square, so you can tell the plant by the flower. Looks kind of like a firework. The shape of the leaves, and then the stem is kind of woody and square. It's not round. It has a very distinct smell, and it is everywhere. I noticed driving down the road. It's a gravel road coming here to this house. And it's all up and down the road. And I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna get out and get some. And then I pulled up to the house and the whole field's full of it, which we just burnt this field off in the spring. So that's awesome. And then I also noticed some sumac growing up the road, and I am gonna jump out and get the sumac to make some lemonade with it, or sumac-ade, I guess you'd call it. So that's pretty cool. But man, it sure is pretty in this field. Just goes on and on with these flowers. Yeah, I thought I'd share that with you because there's plenty here to go around. I'm gonna take a few different stalks of this stuff and I'll go home. I'll strip the leaves off of it, pull the heads of the flower off, and dehydrate it, and then throw it in a jar. And then I'll make tea with it over the winter if I get a cold, because I found that last year it worked great when I had a sore throat and a cold. It kind of works like a throat coat type thing almost, so that's pretty cool. I thought I'd share with you. Right here, sumac. It makes something that tastes a lot like lemonade. So what you do is you just cut it right here, snip, snip. You take this back, you set it in a glass of cold water, and it makes lemonade. It tastes just like it. You can add sugar if you want, but you don't have to. Problem is, it's rained for like the last 2 days, so it's washed off most of the flavor. Usually they look kind of fuzzy, and that's where all the flavor is. But when it rains, it washes it off. But they're still pretty red, so I think I'll be able to get some good flavor out of it. Okay, so we made it back to the house. Got my bee balm, set that to the side. Here is my sumac, as you can see, and that like white looking stuff on there. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that it is all the fuzzy parts that have washed off and kind of crystallized. I believe that's what it's from. So you just drop that down in that jar. Yeah, I may put 2 in there. Shove 2 of those down in there. Big old mason jar. You take cold water. Cool water. Tap water's fine, just make sure it's cold. You don't want hot water, because if that gets hot, then it releases the tannins that is inside of the seeds and the stems, and it makes it nasty. It makes it really bitter, I have been told. Never done it. You just fill that puppy up. Just like that right there. And I got one of these dudes, and you kind of just smash it up and stir it around. I actually used a spatula the other day, and that worked really well. So I may go back to a spatula. I'm not sure, but you can see, oh, kind of a lot of junk in there floating around. But you let that soak, stir it all up real good, let it soak for, I let mine sit for an hour or 2, and then I used cheesecloth and I strained it into another jar with cheesecloth. And you could probably use like coffee filter or something, but that may be a little too fine. Cheesecloth worked perfect. It got all the junk out, all the possible bugs, anything that's in there, and it tasted great. So give it a shot. It tastes wonderful. And like I said, do it at your own risk. It is, you know, from the wild, so you just never know. They say if you are allergic to pistachios, they're kind of in the same family or something like that. So don't drink it.